Good evening, first of all. Dear ambassadors, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, such a great honor for me. I am feeling profoundly privileged to be here and to receive this award. And I will take the advice of Ion Cyriac. I will take it with me. So happy to be here, surrounded by friends, by true friends. I see here in front of me so many friends with whom I worked shoulder to shoulder for our countries. Friends who often advised and support me and challenge me to continue to do together a better job for our citizens and nations. Ambassador Gittenstein, Clem, Kavalek, Zuckerman. With all of you and many more Romanians and Americans, I try to develop Romanian-American partnership, rule of law, justice, independent justice, and economic prosperity for our great nations. I regret I missed Ambassador Rozapep, but, you cannot have everything. In spite of difficulties, in spite of poisoned, unfair, and unjust attacks, in spite of irrational opposition sometimes, I followed my objectives. I took your advices. I worked with you without hesitation. I never refused a fight when it was the ultimate solution, but I never abandoned my preferred path for dialogue and cooperation and construction. I never stopped to believe in my scope and to work according to this credo, which was always the same: a professional public service with dignity and integrity. But I testify here, in spite of all my efforts, I could not have succeeded to move the things, not even an inch, without the support of so many good people who helped me, worked me together alongside with me, or backed me in difficult times. Some of them are here present. To all of them, to all of you, I deeply thank you for that, dear friends, dear Alianța. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living at times when, with plenty of Hamletian questions, routine is out of the geopolitical life. Since February this year, one question preoccupied me intensely. What should Romania do in order to secure an enhanced, privileged, bilateral, economic, and security relation in spite and because of the changes with the international stage? History shows that any space emptied by a superpower will be filled in by another one, sooner or later. Will Putin or Russia continue to use or threaten military means to expand? Will China seek to use economic and other powers to expand its influence? These are the key questions today. In Romania, we know that President Trump understands American power and influence. The security offered by strong and lasting relations with President Trump and America is essential and appreciated. Only 70 years ago, our grandparents often, literally, looked to the sky after the American airplanes, which supposed to launch paratroopers for the liberation of our country from the USSR occupation and communism. It is about a profound and sincere sentimental and psychological connection between the Romanians and the great American nation. It is generated by the same desire and need for freedom. I was almost a kid when I heard on TV The famous words of President Ronald Reagan, thrown it in the face of the history in the middle of Berlin. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. It was like Moses himself spoke for the entire world, not only for Europe. Almost 25 years earlier, President John Fitzgerald Kennedy said in the middle of the same town, Ich bin ein Berliner. Two American presidents, one Republican, the other Democrat, two historical moments, two great sentences who shaped the history. Kennedy launched a shield of protection over the Berlin and Western Europe with those four courageous words. Reagan spread the wind of change and freedom over the rest of the Europe with the order he addressed to Gorbachev. America was so great in those moments, not only because she could, but because she wanted to be. Romanians are infused with that spirit and that image about America, and we embrace it. One of the few moments in my life when I had my eyes washed by tears was in 1994, when I visited for the first time Omaha Beach in Normandy, and the military cemetery on the hill dominating the beach and the surroundings. I served in the army, and I immediately understood that it was theoretically impossible to cross that beach and to climb that hill under a heavy rain of bullets and bombs. And still, the young Americans succeeded. Looking to those 10,000 white crosses and funeral stones on the green grass of the cemetery as 10,000 silent guardians, I understood once again how much Europe and the Europeans are owing to America. I understood that our freedom should be defended and that our generations have a historical duty towards the past, but also for the future, to find intelligent ways to keep the freedom and the peace and to avoid the war slaughter. And I strongly believe that an enhanced strategic partnership between Romania and the United States could serve not only our bilateral interests, but could serve a strategic objective of peace and security in the Southeast, Balkans, and the Black Sea. As I said, beyond my daily duties for defending public order, security of the citizens and communities, fighting with illegal migration, organized crime, drugs trafficking, and human trafficking, I am tireless in my efforts to contribute to the consolidation of the US-Romanian strategic partnership. Dear friends, we need to develop our partnership on all its dimensions, military and security cooperation, but also economic, energy, and trade ties, more American investments to Romania. It is important to hold regular and meaningful dialogue, including at the level of our presidents. Romania commends the efforts and leadership of President Trump to promote peace on the European continent and in the world. Our strategic partnership is a fundamental anchor for the stability of the Black Sea region, including the Republic of Moldova and Western Balkans. We welcome the long-standing US contribution to security in Europe, and we also acknowledge and support President Trump's call for Europe to step and to assume more responsibility. Romania will fulfill its defense expenditure commitments agreed at the NATO Hague Summit in 2025, and we are on track to achieve 5% of GDP by 2035. The presence of American troops in Romania provides strong reassurance to our citizens and is a sign of US leadership in our region and beyond. We stand ready to facilitate US power projections needs. There is a strong potential to develop economic ties to the benefit of both our countries. Strategic investments and projects such as the offshore natural gas extraction in the Black Sea, LNG projects, nuclear energy, rare minerals, mapping and extraction will contribute to prosperity and security for all. We look forward to expand regional connectivity through the North-South corridor and the East-West Middle corridor, promote energy security by integrating US technology into regional energy production, and expand access for US LNG. President Trump's vertical corridor initiative is yet another means to promote the energy objectives Romania shares with the United States. Romania supports the goal of the President Trump to provide reliable, affordable energy. Our geographical position, infrastructure, natural resources, and investments make us a regional and European energy hub. We have a great potential to facilitate an increased US footprint on the European energy market. Romania is located at the intersection of two EU transport corridors, both of direct interest to the US due to military mobility and improved connectivity to US companies, Rhine, Danube, and Baltic Black Aegean Seas. Their development will improve regional access and expand US economic presence in the region. The Constanța port and our land connection with Ukraine can play a key role in the implementation of the US-Ukraine minerals deal and in the reconstruction process of Ukraine. On nuclear energy, we agree with the US assessment on the growing importance of the nuclear sector to ensure reliable, clean energy. Since 2024, Romania is the largest natural gas producer in the EU, with 25% of EU total. US companies such as Black Sea Oil and Gas are participating in the extraction of the Black Sea gas. Thank you very much, sir, for working in Romania. Romania can play a key role in the transport of American LNG. The strategic port of Constanța and the Brua pipeline built by Romania can play a key role, ready to support US LNG access to the Hungary and Slovakia, replacing Russian imports. Romania also fully supports the EU-US trade agreement, including the announcement American LNG acquisitions. The Black Sea region is at the front line of Euro-Atlantic security, and aligning US and Romanian priorities is essential for collective deterrence and defense, and for the prosperity of our countries. American presence in Romania enhances US strategic toolkit to counter global threats and competitors. For Romanians, US military presence is the cornerstone of our security. We are determined to expand capabilities and develop our national defense industry. Romania will continue to fulfill its host nation obligations with $3.2 billion to be invested in two facilities hosting US troops, Mihail Cogălnicianu Air Base and Câmpia Turzii, and purchase US equipment on top of the $15 billion in military purchases from the US so far. At EU level, Romania has been a strong supporter and will contribute to advocate to the largest possible participation of the US to all the recent EU defense initiatives, including SAFE. Romania has also called for preferential treatment of US personnel and assets in the context of the new EU entry-exit systems. The Black Sea region is of strategic importance for Romania. The US and NATO, it is the front line of Euro-Atlantic security, facing challenges from all four global and regional competitors of the US, Russia, China, Iran, or North Korea. We are glad to see the US already adopted a dedicated Black Sea strategy. And Romania has already offered to host a dedicated security hub for the Black Sea under the aegis of the EU Black Sea strategy. We stand ready to explore cooperation opportunities with the US regarding this hub. We commend the peace efforts of President Trump for a just and lasting solution for the war in Ukraine. Negotiations must take into account the security interests of all stakeholders, especially neighboring countries, including Romania, as we will be both impacted by the outcome and we stand ready to contribute to any future security guaranteed for Ukraine and to the reconstruction process. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, President Trump's call to make America great again says in four simple, powerful words what an old leader of a Romanian province said once upon a time: we will be again what we have been, and much more than that. The things I mentioned in my speech are not easy jobs. But again, as one of your former presidents says, we choose to do certain things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Allow me to add that with friends around, any difficulty could be transformed into a victory. So let's make a commitment for our common victory, a stronger and greater strategic partnership between America and Romania. God bless Romania and the United States of America. Thank you very much.